Chinese President Xi Jinping is in Europe this week with talks scheduled in Italy, Monaco and France. What outcomes can we expect? And after nearly 30 years in office, Kazakhstan's leader just stepped down. What does the transition mean for the country and for ties between China and Kazakhstan? Welcome to The Point, an opinion show coming to you from Beijing. I'm Li Xin. Chinese President Xi Jinping kicks off his six-day visit on Friday to three European countries, Italy, Monaco and France. On his first stop, he will hold talks with Italian President Sergio Mattarella and Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte. The two sides are expected to witness the signing of a memorandum of understanding on the Belt and Road Initiative, along with other cooperation documents and commercial agreements. Some say Italy's move represents a major member of the EU breaking ranks with the bloc, or that it's leading Europe into China's embrace. The meetings are taking place amid China's unsettled trade war with the US and Washington's mounting pressure on China's tech giant Huawei. So what does the trip mean for Europe and China? And as China and Europe deepen their cooperation, how far can it go? Joining me in the Beijing studio is Joerg Wuttke, former president of the EU Chamber of Commerce in China, and from Geneva, Switzerland, Dr. Shuaihua Wallace Cheng, research fellow at the German Development Institute. Gentlemen, welcome to The Point. Now, Joerg, let me go to you first. The trade between China and Italy reached a record high of $54.2 billion in 2018, and the volume between China and France also surpassed $60 billion for the very first time in history. So why are these figures growing so fast despite trade uncertainties around the world, and especially between China and the US?
Well, looking back over the last year, the economy in Europe was really doing extremely well. There was a lot of demand going on, and the European Union bought about €1 billion of Chinese products every day. And European products also get equally well wished for and demanded in the Chinese market. We are selling about 520 billion euro every day to China. So it is a very big market. We are in the European Union market number one for China. And so, of course, that is reflected in the Italian figure and in the French figures. And interesting enough, in Germany, the trade between China and my country is balanced.
Mm-hmm. So basically, the trade friction between China and the United States is more or less a blessing for China-EU trade, Joerg?
Not really. I think a fight between two of the major economies is always a lose-lose proposition. There might be occasional winners, but overall I think uncertainty in the marketplace shows. You can see already the data in China going a little bit soft. Also, Europe is not sure where this is all going to end. I think it is actually without any major winners. That's why we have to have this problem fixed as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm. Now, the Belt and Road Initiative has been increasingly embraced by countries around the world, including in Europe. I know Greece, I know Portugal have all signed up to it. Now, Italy is going to do that, and Prime Minister Conte said he's willing to attend the second Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation to be held later this year, to be held in April in Beijing. And he also said that he sees the Belt and Road Initiative as an opportunity for Italy and for Europe. So, Dr. Shuaihua, what had prompted Italy to make this decision?
It's a great question. Actually, I just want to make one correction. That media, including your questions, you normally highlight the difference between, let's say, Italy, Greece, and with other European countries, well, with European Union, for example. Actually, there are some commonalities. In EU's last year's connectivity plan, they also, in the press release, they also emphasized that the European Union also need to strengthen the collaborations with China, possible ways collaboration with China on Belt Road Initiative. Having said that, I think Italy has put lots of emphasis on its potential benefits they can get from the Belt Road Initiative, particularly in a few ports and other infrastructure projects. They have culturally longer tradition between China and Italy. As President Xi wrote the article in Italian press, it's already 1,000 years contradiction. So that is logic to have this renewed or rejuvenized Silk Road initiative with Italy.
Well, yeah, Italian Prime Minister Conte said that this is very much just an economic initiative, so it shouldn't be seen as posing any threat to the EU in any other sense. I know France expressed interest in the Belt and Road initiative last year, for instance, during President Macron's visit to Xi'an. He said very positive things about the potential of this initiative. And Germany seems also in rather a hesitation at this moment. We know that Germany has very strong economic relationship with China, but on the other hand, Germany has also been one of the countries most vocal in terms of asking China to do more to be reciprocal. So, Joerg, now that Italy is going to sign the Belt and Road initiative, what would that mean for countries such as France and Germany in Western Europe?
Well, I think, first of all, you have to look at the base load of trade and investment flowing between Europe and China. And again, Germany has a balanced trade, whereas Italy and France have a deficit. That means that the German products actually are competitive and are well liked over here, particularly machinery, chemicals, and cars. So the Belt and Road is not really covering these areas. That's why also Germany is first and foremost interested in China being a partner rather than a trading partner. And a partner means that China is coming into Europe, most welcome to come into Europe, but as an investor. The initial wave that we have seen China doing around the world, particularly in these Belt and Road countries, is selling to those countries and giving loans to these countries. We would like to have China with more skin in the game and investment, and I guess that's also possibly what the French and the Italians will ask for. Not just loans and not just big projects, but actually investment, real investment, where China has to take the risk, and secondly, the opening up of the Chinese markets. So the One Belt Road, as it was once called, is a two-way road.
What about, exactly, what about France? How do you look at the concern that the French President Macron has said is exactly that this has to be a two-way road? Now, France has expressed some interest, but on the other hand, it is also expressed concern in some of the aspects. How much of an example the agreement with Italy can be for countries such as France or Germany? I mean, we can talk about our commonality, what you wish for, what I can give, we can talk about, and we can start with these things. It doesn't have to be a generic document for all countries in the world. Joerg, again.
Well, I guess that the hesitation also comes from the mechanism that it has unleashed. In a way, Europeans want to see multilateral decision-making. I mean, we have 28 member states as of today, and we are used to this kind of sitting together trying to figure common ground. That's also why 16+1, this Eastern European China network, was actually disturbing some people by saying, you know, why come you have 12 EU members and 4 non-EU members chipped in? I think what it really means is, like, is Belt and Road Initiative a multilateral approach, or is it a bilateral hub and spoke approach where China does deals with various countries? And again, Italy is a member of the European Union. We are trying to speak with one voice. And we have to see if it's beneficial for Italy, if it's beneficial also for Europe, then we welcome it, and we will certainly see other countries following. So in a way, I think it's in China's interest to make this Italy deal really, really work.
Yeah, I think great points you have made there, and I think President Xi's visit is likely to bring a lot of highlight, a lot of spotlight to this initiative. And as you said, we're going to have to wait and see whether this initiative works out. Dr. Shuaihua, what is your understanding towards the kind of different attitude or different expectations towards this initiative expressed by Joerg here? How can China interact with these countries as both individual countries who are sovereign, and then as members of the EU who are sorting a common approach, although not always possible?
Right. Sometimes I feel it's I live here for quite a long time. I feel there's misconceptions about the Belt and Road Initiative. China has constantly said it should be shared. It's a shared road, a Belt and Road, it is two-way. China never said it's a one-way road. It's a Chinese idea. It's shared by everyone. It's an open platform. China has repeatedly emphasized this point. But from European side, as long as China raises any ideas, they feel scared, with a lot of worries, and see maybe China has its hidden agenda. Actually, from research point of view, this Belt Road Initiative from the beginning is already very open. It emphasizes it's two-way straight. It's not China's project. It's the project can be shared by everyone. Everyone can participate, can contribute. It's a project for the 21st century.
I get your point. Joerg, you want to respond to that? I sense from what Dr. Shuaihua said, there is a sense of bias. There is a sense of ignorance potentially on the side of the Western media, maybe, or some politicians. How do you react to that?
Well, I mean, we look at the facts. I mean, speeches is one thing, facts is the other, and it seems to be that it's primarily financing ports and insurance companies and buying up companies and all of the above, which in many ways is economically beneficial for both and helpful, but there is no multilateral setting, there is no list, there is no setting, there is no compliance, there is no shared understanding on environmental implementation. So in a way, I mean, we would actually like to have it as a setting, if it is going to be beneficial for both, where actually both have a say in it in a multilateral setting, and which is not, which is surprising, because China is always lauding multilateral decisions. They like WTO, they sponsor WTO, when at the same time it all looks like it's me, China with Pakistan, me with Myanmar, and so forth. So in a way, we just look at the facts, and the facts look like it's pretty much spoken up.
I do, for instance, in terms of the bank, the AIIB, the Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank, there are multiple countries sitting on the board, and they're trying their best to bring transparency and multilateral decision-making, accountability into the decision-making. That's my understanding, yes. Joerg. Wouldn't that be some kind of example yes. of the kind of effort China tries to bring in, so that you know, the multilateral expectations can be met?
Yeah, I mean, the AIB, if I could just jump in, is a perfect example of multilateralism. It's all sitting on the board. It has a mechanism, it has an address, it has a president, it has staff that works internationally with other developing banks together. No, AIB is a success story, but actually I would not relate it to Belt and Road Initiative. It came up the same time. Many people said it's the Belt and Road Bank, but as a matter of fact, Mr. Xi and his team has done a magnificent job in making that a developing bank. Forget about the label that it has. It has done good things in India and other countries, and interesting enough, in most countries that are not related to Belt and Road Initiative.
All right. Dr. Shuaihua, would you like to react to this?
I want to just add two comments. One is, having said that, the Italy is an important entry point for China for Belt Road Initiative. I think China should not use, as Western media suspect that China will divide members to have divided the European Union. China, I think, should be very careful and to talk to European Union in this EU-China summit officially to start discussion about Belt Road Initiative, in parallel to China's discussion with member states. The second point is very important, that I think European politicians need to be very careful not to be Americanized. I say that because American, they have this paranoid style of American politics, as historian Richard Hofstadter said. They normally exaggerate the danger, which does not exist. I think this need to be very cautious. European politicians need to be very cautious. Okay,
we're going to leave it there. Many thanks to Joerg Wuttke, former president of the EU Chamber of Commerce in China, and Dr. Shuaihua Wallace Cheng, research fellow at the German Development Institute.